Okay, now we've got the filter connected, the hose is going through the hole here. And like I said, you could choose to put this anywhere you want, this hole. We've got it a little bit above the middle. You could have it come in through the top, through the bottom, whatever. The nice thing about this setup is that you now know that this filter is working efficiently because you don't have to have a canister filter with everything hidden and you have no idea if the filter's clogged or not. In this case, let's say you have your water level come up to right about a ½ inch from the top of the sponge. When this filter starts to clog, the water will come higher on the sponge. So once the water gets to the top of the sponge, you now know it's time to clean this filter. Now that could take 6 months to a year with a filter this big, because this particular filter is equivalent. This has a whopping 712 cubic inches of filtering material in it. I'm not sure if there's a canister filter in the world that holds that much filtering material. But this is equivalent to more than 11 of our 4-inch cube filters. And that's a tremendous filtering area. And you will know when this filter needs to be cleaned because the water will come up further here as it clogs, and once it gets towards the top, it's time to take this out and rinse it off. And you can rinse it out real easy. You can take it outside, spray it with a hose. You can put in a big bucket of water and swish it around a little bit. Some people slap them against the driveway or whatever. Lots of different ways to do it. The other option you can do here is like this particular piece of foam is a 20 ppi foam. If you wanted to, you could layer this and put a 2-inch 20 ppi on the front, and then another layer of 2-inch 40 ppi next to that, and make it so that bigger particles are filtered out and then smaller particles are filtered out, and make it even more efficient. There's lots of different ways you could configure this. In fact, if you wanted to, you could take this back cavity here on this filter right here, and you could fill this with carbon or zeolite or gravel or whatever you want, and make it even, bio balls, anything you want, and make this cavity even more effective. You could also take this cavity and you could move it. You could move this filter out a few inches, and you could, let's say you don't want the pump where you can see it, you can now take the pump and put it behind here and blow the water out this way. So this is a completely empty area here in the tank. All right, I'm gonna take this pump out of the tank right now and show you some other options. If you wanted to decorate this tank, you could also do that. When you have this pushed up against the wall, all you have to do is put your decoration in here, put some rocks and driftwood and plant work up along the sponge filter, and as you can see, most of that tank is going to be uncluttered. There's no hoses, there's nothing ugly. I mean, almost every other filter in the world is more ugly than this would be if you disguise it correctly. We can now take this filter if we want to and very easily turn this tank into a much more useful breeding tank. We could take the filter and simply slide it to the middle of the tank, or a third of the tank, or really whatever area you choose to use. And we could now use it as a tank divider as well as a separate compartment for maybe 2 breeding pairs, maybe the fry from the pair on this side, the breeding pair on that side, maybe a pair of bristlenose on one side, a pair of angelfish on the other. Lots of different options. You could use it as a divider to keep fish from fighting, to keep different sized fish in the same aquarium without any problems between them. Very, very good options. And the best part about this, if I have 2 breeding pairs here with this acting as the filter, there's nothing in the middle of the tank. This is wide open area to put breeding slates, decorations, driftwood, plants, whatever you want, and no clumsy filter in the middle of the tank in the way. So that's an excellent use for this as a tank divider, dual purpose filter. The tank divider alone might cost almost as much as that in many instances. Now the other option we have is we have many different porosities, and we have, this is a 15 ppi, which is a little bit more coarse, but it's available in this color blue, which some people find desirable because they might have something like discus, where the fry from the discus are attracted to dark bodies, and so the dark black filter here would attract the fry, and discus breeders wouldn't like that. They want the fry to go to the fish, not to the filter. So a light blue like this would probably be an excellent choice to use if you were a discus breeder, or if you like the color, or if you want slightly larger porosity to the filter. And we can cut these any thickness from 2, 3, 4, or 5 inches thick, and we can cut it, custom cut them for you at whatever size you need to fit your particular aquarium. So we have the options of 15 ppi, 20 ppi, and then we've got a very fine 40 ppi, and those ppi stands for pores per inch. So that should pretty much wrap up some of the basic options of what you can do with this filter. You can really use your imagination and literally come up with hundreds of configurations that will allow you to make your tank far more useful than it would be with almost any other filtering system that you can come up with, and very easily and very inexpensively. Probably 1/10 the cost of a canister filter holding a similar amount of filtering material. We hope you enjoyed this video, and good luck at building your next filter.